What's happening, guys? It's your buddy Griz, and I'm back with another episode of Kit Up. This is my weekly Battlefield series where you guys get to suggest weapons and loadouts for me to use, and I give my extremely humble opinions on them. First of all, I just want to thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I can't tell you how excited I am with the growth of my channel. Thank you, 1,000 times thank you, which is actually pretty appropriate. I'll have a special video coming very soon to celebrate this joyous occasion, but first, on to business. So this week, I'm doing a suggestion from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Lieutenant Ski. Now, I don't have his comment because, again, I went back to look for it this week. I tried to do this last week. Same thing happened. It was gone. Stupid YouTube. But I did set up my loadout in-game when I saw it, so I just never changed it, and this is how she goes. Ski wanted to see the AR160 with a holographic sight, 2x magnifier, muzzle brake, and the stubby grip. For the sidearm, I've got the M1911 with the 3x scope and a flashlight. Sounds a little familiar. Defib's in the medkit for the gadgets, RGO impact grenades, the seal knife, and the Shadow Field upgrade. Alright, let's jump right in and bring up the stats for the AR160, which is the assault rifle that came with the NAVAL STRIKE DLC, in case you are wondering why you don't have this weapon. Maybe you're not a premium member or you haven't purchased NAVAL STRIKE yet. That's the reason why. The AR160 has a maximum damage of 25 and a minimum damage of 18, firing at a rate of 700 rounds per minute and a magazine capacity of 30 rounds plus 1 in the chamber for 31 total. Reload times are 3.15 seconds when empty, and 2 seconds flat with a round still in the chamber. Now usually, I would start with the good points, but after playing with this assault rifle for a while, I personally felt like there was much more bad going on with this weapon than good. Judging by the stats on the AR160, one would probably assume it was great at long range because of its high muzzle velocity of 650 meters per second. This is the same as the M16A4 and SAR21, two of the best, widely considered at least, best long-range assault rifles in the game. And while that is true, that you don't have to lead your targets as much if they're on the move with the AR160, the recoil that comes with this weapon absolutely puts a damper on its long-range capabilities. I felt like the AR160 had a lot of recoil, comparable to that of, say, the Scar H just off the top of my head, but while the recoil is comparable between these two weapons, the damage done by each is not. The Scar has a much higher damage output, which is what really elevates it into a category high above the AR160 when it comes to pretty much all encounters. So, although on paper the AR160 looks like it would be good at range, the recoil really throws you off, and if you're already not a fan of guns with higher recoil patterns in Battlefield 4, I really can't recommend you use this weapon for any other reason other than maybe a little variety in your life. In close to medium range combat, the story isn't much different. We're dealing with a lower rate of fire than most. I mean, it's the same as the AUG A3 or the CZ805, so not the slowest firing assault rifle by any means, but still, it feels like time to kill on the AR160 is just a little too long for my comfort in close. I experienced a lot of kill assists and kill trading while using the AR160, and I attribute that to a combination of the lower fire rate and, of course, the cursed netcode. Because a lot of the time, I had gotten the first shot off on my screen, but we would just end up kill trading because he was using an AEK or even the M16A4. It just beats ya. And as if that isn't enough bad news, the reload times are pretty terrible too. Once again, not the worst, and maybe I'm just too jumpy, but I kept doing this thing where I'd reload, I'd think it was done, so I'd go to throw a medkit down, and when my weapon came back, I was back to half a mag. So So then you have to go through the whole reload animation again, which sucks and definitely slows down your gameplay. But then again, maybe that was just me. Maybe I was just jumping the gun pretty much every time. But it really feels like the reload times definitely have a lot to be desired. Overall, I don't have a lot of nice things to say about the AR160. There were many, God, this thing sucks, uttered during my time playing with it. And I'm glad it's over for now. As far as the attachments I was using, I actually quite enjoyed the 2x magnifier, and I'm sure I will be trying it out on some different weapons now. It came in handy quite a few times, but I did notice a small glitch with it. Sometimes if I was revived, the magnifications would switch. So I'd be looking through the holo sight, but I'd have the 2x magnification. Then if I switched to the magnifier, I'd only have the 1x magnification. Just a weird little thing that I noticed, and I mean, it's definitely not game breaking or anything, but if anyone from DICE is watching this, and I highly doubt that, there's a glitch with the magnifier. The stubby grip is probably your best option on the AR160, but I could be just saying that because it's my favorite grip overall. And the muzzle brake helps reduce some of that recoil, but you'll need to remember to fire in bursts if you can, because it can be detrimental to your automatic fire accuracy running with the muzzle brake. Now it seems like I've been using the M1911 with the 3x scope a lot lately, so I can't believe I'm about to repeat myself again. Let's get some different pistols on the go here, guys. I actually like the 3x scope on this pistol though. You can really pull off some nice finishing snipes with it after getting a few hits on an enemy first, and it's actually really satisfying pulling off a long distance kill with this thing. You just know they're raging on the other end. But it's also a good finisher in close if you use hip fire, but don't bother scoping in if he's too close because you'll just mess yourself up and probably die. And I have to say at least one thing about the grenades. The RG hose are my favorite grenades at the moment. They're just so great for finishing off guys who've ducked behind cover, and they can also get you some nice double kills if you landed in close enough to two guys. Doorways are obviously their specialty, and corners, since they explode after hitting a hard surface. You can bank them off walls, around corners, through doors, and they're just so effective at taking guys out who are hiding, waiting to ambush you. But that's pretty much all I have to say this week. The AR160 isn't going to make my top 10 weapons list, that much is certain. But it is kind of fun, I guess, if you're a masochist. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you once again for 1,000 subscribers. I won't forget, I'll put that special video up as soon as I can. As soon as I can get it done, I mean. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful at all, please leave it some love on your way out by clicking that like button down below. If you're new around here, I'd love it if you would join in on the fun, subscribe to the channel, and leave me your suggestions for next week's setup down in the comments below. Everybody have a safe and wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon. Later.